Stirring the coffee with chopsticks using the Vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started. First, coffee made in a percolator. Perfect. Just the way that I want it. The two biggest roles that men play are husband and father. You have that hardwired into you, men. You do. The world needs you to step up to the plate, to be a husband and a father, not be a punk, not be a doormat, not be some woman's fool, but find a woman worthy of your seed and follow through on that and be the man that God has created you to be. If you have not been that man, it's never too late to step up to the plate. There are people who live in their vans, trucks, and cars. There's enough videos on this on YouTube. And they join Planet Fitness for $10 a month just so they can use the showers and shave and the locker rooms and that kind of thing, because they're open 24/7. But now that gyms are closed across the country, these people must really be stinking by now. I thought about that yesterday. That really sucks. Gyms have been closed. Imagine it. Barbershops, salons, all across the world. Holy Mother of God. What have we done? What have we allowed to happen? Dr. Fauci disappeared as fast as he appeared. We rolled. I believe it was a test run. This is nothing. This is nothing. It's a test run. Let's get real. And everybody failed. Everybody got an F. It did work, though, to split and divide the nation between the fucking mask shaming, a sign of compliance. Sure, is the you-know-what real? Of course. I've worked on ICU units for the past 3 months. And I've seen people die. And I've seen people die of flu, too, right next to a you-know-what patient in the next room over. But society cannot shut down. It can't shut down. 1 minute we're literally told we have to be 6 foot apart. I can't go fucking food shopping without this on. Next minute, I'm encouraged to be in the streets with hundreds and thousands of people. If you don't think there's something up with that, you are dead. Goodbye, NFL. One of your last nails is going in your coffin probably this year. Reason? Liberals aren't enough to keep the NFL alive. And I don't believe the government should subsidize organized sports at all. Players want to keep being stupid? Okay. Okay. Then you're going to have to get a job instead of play. Then another horse came out, a fiery red one. Its rider was given power to take peace from the earth and to make people kill each other. To him was given a large sword. That's from Revelation. I keep running into women who want to make me dinner, clean my house, do my laundry, go to church, walk 2 miles a day, trim the hair in the back of my neck, and make love to me once a day. I have no idea what red pill guys are talking about, how all these women are scarce. I have no clue. When she values you, whoever she is, she will take your lead. The key concept is to communicate early in the relationship. Follow my lead. You want to vet a woman, men? Early on. She needs to respect you enough, and you need to be respectable enough to be able to say, follow my lead. No more, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? Man up, please. Man up. She wants to follow you, and you are a reluctant leader. But you better have somewhere to lead her to. Maybe that's why she's not following you. Can you both have your own lives? Of course you can. Absolutely. Are you both individuals made by God for a calling? Sure. Absolutely. But there can only be one person at the steering wheel. And I'm not talking about being a slave master either. Yeah. When was the last time you said to her, follow my lead? Don't say to her, do what I say. It's follow my lead. Just because you're awake doesn't mean you are awakened. Sleep schedule is doing well. Do you ever notice that when your sleep is good, everything is good? Everything is good. So work on getting a good sleep. I went to bed last night at 8:30. I was probably in bed reading a little bit at about 8:15. Lights out at about 8:30. Optimally, I get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. And this is what my sleep schedule looked like last night. It's funny, I had to get rid of, I shouldn't say get rid of, I had to stop wearing my Fitbit because I was obsessed with my sleep patterns throughout the night. I normally do track my sleep. I'm pretty predictable in that way. Everyone knows. You're not going to invite me to a party that starts at 9 o'clock because I will have been sleeping for a half hour by the time your party starts. I was obsessed with my sleep pattern during the night, the data that my Fitbit was giving me. Now, I don't like wearing anything to bed. Fitbit would tell me when I was sleeping, when I was going through REM sleep, and I'd see the graph and all this kind of stuff. And it didn't take into account the time that I would have to get up and go to the bathroom or something like that. So it created a thing in me called orthosomnia, which is when you get obsessed with your sleep. So what happens with me is I stopped wearing the Fitbit, and I have it now. So if anybody wants a Fitbit, I'm willing to give it away. I wore it for 2 weeks. So I'm willing to give it away to somebody, a needy person who wants it, a follower, someone, whatever, I'll send it to you. I just don't want it. I'm not interested in it anymore. My phone does all the sleep tracking. But what it does, I think what the phone does, it shows when there's no more activity and when the lights are out and the audio picks up on no noise. I think that's what it tracks. So it tells me when I was quiet, dark, and silent, and when I woke up. And I think really that's all the tracking that I want to do. And I actually sleep better with that kind of data rather than how many times I rolled over, what levels of sleep I was at. When I was looking at that, it actually kept me awake. Anger is the ramen noodle of emotions, cheap, plentiful, and easy to access. I did a video on that about 3 years ago. NPCs are the new rent-a-weapon. Did you watch my brother Tony's video on the peaceful protests in Florida? Check out my brother Tony Bruno's YouTube channel. And he did a video called Whisper Loud. NPCs, just millions of them getting together for a cause. Kneeling is the precursor to death. Kneeling on purpose is a mental illness with an underlying suicidal ideation. Don't doubt me on that. You kneel to God, that is it. You kneel at an altar, that is it. You don't kneel. Kneeling to anyone else is literally demonic. A repeat from yesterday and worthy of repeating. Your relationships and your environment are everything. You get those two things squared away and you will be unstuck and unstoppable. Yeah, I'm down to that 1 cup of coffee thing. I have no desire for 2 cups. It's warm right now. It's warm and humid-ish. I have the air conditioning set on 78 in the house. I'm okay. 75 is perfect, but 78 is nice. Ceiling fans going. It's nice. It's decent. It's doable. And the AC is not running constantly around the clock. I do prefer moving air versus just cool air. Are you like that? Do you want moving air? Like if I have a fan blowing on me very lightly, very, very lightly at night, I'm good. Even if it's hot out. Even if I have windows open and a fan just blowing on me very lightly, I'm good. Cool air, just cold, like hotel room cold, office building cold. I shouldn't have to have covers, like big heavy comforters and blankets on me in the summertime. I'd rather sleep with a sheet on me. Flannel sheet at the most. How about you? How do you sleep in the summertime? Is your house cold? Do you have windows open? Do you have ceiling fans? Do you have like a regular oscillating fan like on a dresser or a box fan? Do you have a little clip fan? What do you have? Do you have air blowing on you? Do you have no AC? What do you like? Tell me down below. I'd like to see what your preferred sleep environment is all about. Anyone ever see the movie First Reformed with Ethan Hawke? Pretty interesting film. Indie film. Not widely known at all. I highly recommend it. I would call it a psychological thriller. Pretty interesting. What you doing? You want some love from Daddy? Good boy. Take care of your critters. They work tirelessly for loving. I watched the movie Blue Ruin last night. Pretty darn interesting. After I was mentioning the movie Green Room that I really enjoyed. Whenever that came out, what, 2013, 2014? I'm guessing. And then someone mentioned Blue Ruin. And of course, I love seeing everything that a certain director does. If I get hooked on a certain director's one movie, then I want to see all the movies that they did. So Blue Ruin was done by the same director that did Green Room, which I thoroughly loved. The part of Patrick Stewart. For some reason, it was so underplayed, underacted. And I loved that because Patrick Stewart's a very powerful actor. And you could just see the authority and control in this guy. Quite fascinating. Blue Ruin. I had to look up what that word meant. And I guess it was referring to, not in the movie, but Blue Ruin is a euphemism for jinn, how it can ruin you. So when you have some blue ruin, am I right about that? That's where that phrase came from. Blue ruin is getting intoxicated from jinn. Fascinating movie, and the main actor, I think his name is Macon Blair, and he was in both films, Green Room and Blue Ruin. And I wasn't sure what to think of him at first, but I dig the guy. Very underplayed. Everything just underplayed. But you could see the brilliance in the performance. It was a complex film. Revenge film. Vigilante-ish revenge, but very good. I watched Deborah Twiss's movie. I'll put a link for it down below from Planet Twisted. You want to see that? You know my friend Deborah. What an interesting movie that she made. Brilliant woman. Absolutely brilliant. Deb, I thought I'd give you a little shout out there because I really do appreciate your work and your friendship. I haven't really settled down yet in my life, and when I do, I think I just want to get a bagger. I like, you know what it is? I love all kinds of forms of transportation. As much as I like being a minimalist, I still love everything from Vespa scooters to, your stand-up electric portable scooters, to e-bikes, to like Rambler style motorcycles, to baggers, to, I love it all. If it moves from point A to point B, I love it. I'm slightly obsessed with various modes of transportation. There was one point, it was probably about 10 years ago, doing a show for like the Travel Channel called Alternate Route. And it was about different modes of transportation. And we would try different things. Did you see Tony Bruno, my brother? Tony Bruno did a video. He was on the beach. I forget which video it was. And there was a dude with looked like a fan, a gas-powered fan on his back, and like a parachute, just tooling around the sky. And he was just filming this guy on the beach, and the dude kind of swooped in and said, "Hey," and just like came right by him. I mean, literally just feet from him. It was interesting. What is that called? I've never done that, and it is very like me to want to do that now. I seriously could see myself getting one of those things. What is it, like a powered paragliding or something like that? I don't know. I see myself doing that in the morning. It'd be too noisy though, wouldn't it? At like 5:36 in the morning, being on the beach, everybody who lives in their $2 million homes on the beach does not want to hear a powered paragliding mechanism floating past their bedroom. God, I would love to do that. That just looks like so much fun. All that being said, I love transportation. I love moving, and having a bagger would be fun. I'm not a touring guy. I don't think I'm a touring kind of fella when it comes to motorcycles. That's just not my thing. I was talking with Tim Hurd, the Bible-thumping wingnut guy, BTWN guy, friend of mine, who has an RV, like a bus, looks like a bus, like a tour bus. It's a big thing, Airstream. And he said he might be selling that and getting a park model trailer and having that put at a campground and then just going there on the weekends, which is interesting. I like the idea of having a little getaway. Ideally, I will have a cottage. This is what my vision, a cottage or a trailer on the beach. In a home somewhere, but being able to escape. And the cottage or trailer is kind of like the escape, the getaway. And the home is, where the studio is and so forth. The Daybreak Ranch. That's what I'm thinking. The whole idea of a lifestyle entrepreneur is very attractive, but you better have a good accountant. And the whole idea of getting out of the sack and, rolling out of the sack and walking 20 feet to your office, yeah, that's cool, but there's nothing like getting away from your dwelling and having like a writer's shed or something like that, a studio that's designated. Like you don't know what I'm wearing, do you? Literally, when I tell you I just roll out of the sack, I rolled out of the sack. Like I'm down here in shorts and or pajamas. You just don't see what's down below. But for the very first time in the Daybreak Show, I'm going to show you what's below the t-shirt. Just like pajama bottoms. Real professional, huh? One of my favorite scholars, author's lover of God. He wrote about God like a person boasts of the beauty and glory of their lover and life mate. He says, "There is not one blade of grass, there is no color in this world that is not intended to make us rejoice." That was said by John Calvin, a shepherd. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason. Long story short, buy a kite, fly it. Then try to make a kite and fly it. It won't be so easy. You're going to need to make many modifications to get the thing to catch air and actually get off the ground. It's the same thing with many things in life. You need to incorporate testing, modifying, and tweaking. If something doesn't fly, that's not your time to quit. It's your time to bear down, tweak, modify, try something different, maybe a different angle. Doesn't matter what that thing in life is, whether it be your persona, your job, your career, the way that you approach life, the way that you approach people, a business idea, an internet idea, a YouTube channel of your own. Just go for it.